I'm not surprised, but it has happened yet again.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
I'm not talking about Aladdin, but I'm telling you all right now that I can show you the world.
I can show you the world.
If only you would head on over to fortheculturepodcast.com. Head on over to fortheculturepodcast.com. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This Tuesday, we're going to have a sickening ass episode up yet again. I mean, last Tuesday, the Tuesday before that, we've just been serving you so much content. So I don't know what more I have to tell you, but you need to go to fortheculturepodcast.com and get your life and listen to all the episodes. Keep up with Adrian Expression and Justin J. We're out here. Our social media engines are warmed the fuck up, okay? And we're ready to rev this shit to the finish line, all right? Patreon.com/Adrian Expression as well. If you want the best content, the earliest, I would suggest that you head on over there and sign the fuck up, okay, girlies? That's all I have to say on that subject. Because the topics of this video, they're very depressing and disheartening, I decided that we should start out this video with something lighthearted, okay? With something a little bit comical, if you will. Tell me why when Trump took his ass over to Hawaii, girl, bitch, this is what he was greeted with. I'm just gonna show you the pictures. I'm just gonna show you the pictures, girl. Let me look at them with y'all. I mean, the girls are saying, aloha, girl. Welcome to Kenya. Okay, I'm not an orange, I'm peach. You know, like in peach, girl. Yes, ma'am. Like, welcome to Kenya. And bitch, let's move on to this next picture. Aloha also, like, we know that we're using this to say hello to you in this moment at this time, but aloha also is used to say goodbye. So what if you would likely take your wheelbarrow shaped head ass right back onto Air Force One and just take your ass on over back to the White House. Aloha also means goodbye. I could never have been more proud of the signs that were on display when Trump got his Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down, built ass off of his plane. And you know, I guess he thought he was gonna greet the people, but he was greeted with signs, okay? I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but I mean, if you have been breathing air, you would know that Donald Trump was over here just dragging the hell out of Mr. Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, President fine ass, mahogany, you know what I mean, just polished wood, built ass skin, Obama. You know, he was dragging the hell out, or he was trying to, because in order to fully drag someone, what you're saying has to make sense. It has to have some type of logic, you know, pinned against it. It has to have some type of logic injected inside of it. You see what I'm saying? And do whatever you have to do. Proper thinking actually has to be involved if you're thinking that you're actually going to drag someone. It actually has to make sense. Okay, but he was saying, girl, you know, Obama was born in Kenya, girl. And even though he was born in Hawaii, he's born in the United States. But he just really went after his ass. And so the good citizens in Hawaii said, girl, we're going to throw this in your face. And we're going to make you regret this shit, sis. So I don't know what, like, that shit is crazy as hell that anywhere he goes, it's no type of greeting, it's no type of cheering, nothing. It's always signs in his opposition. Ratings are low as hell. It's just, girl, just resign. Give it up. What I also found hilarious was the fact that one of the courts out here, you know, they're really making sure that the checks and balances are serving the fuck out of the girls. And by that, I mean, you know, the courts have decided, sis, you really can't enact this transgender type of ban, sis. I don't know if you thought you were some type of totalitarian dictator. I'm not sure if you thought you were living in some type of, you know, divine right of kings type of shit. If you don't know what that is, look it up, sweetheart. Divine right of kings. I'm not sure if you thought you were serving this, you know, monarchy type of tease. You know, whatever you say goes, but you can't just tweet and all of a sudden it's law. That's not how the United States of America works. So what you're gonna have to do is get that shit passed, and you better hope that these hoes aren't out here tearing that shit up and vetoing the hell out of it, girl. You can't just tweet some shit and it just be in the law the next day, sis. That's not how it works. So the people over there were just like, sis, you cannot prevent transgender people from over here serving. Like, I never understood, like, girl, they're literally volunteering their time to protect their country, and you're saying, well, girl, no, man, there's no time for a science experiment. I mean, are transgender people amoebas or something to where you think you're gonna have to do some type of genetic experiment on their ass, girl? If you don't let these people serve, if they feeling patriotic and they feeling like they want to serve their country, let them serve, girl, that's it. So I'm glad that they dragged his ass. I'm glad that they told him that it does not take 140 characters for a law to be created and to be enforced. That's not how that shit works. I'm glad that they gathered his ass on up together. I'm gonna take a break from Trump really quick and talk about this issue, this story that has been pressing on my mind. And of course I'll get back to Trump's ass. Of course I'll get back to him. But Giovanni Melton Giovanni Melton, is a 14-year-old who was killed by his father because the father did not want to have a gay son. 14 years old, and your life is taken from you. You barely started living at 14 years of age. And your life is taken from you from the very person who was supposed to be protecting you from all of the world's dangers, from all of the world's harm and shit. The very person who's supposed to be providing for you, setting a good example for you, that same person took your fucking life simply because of who you are attracted to. Why is it that who someone is attracted to holds so much of this negative ass weight? It's just saying, hey girl, the person that I love has different parts. That's it, girl, that's literally it. The person that I'm attracted to has different parts than what you all are used to. This father, like he's his father, took the life of his son because he'd rather have a fucking dead son than a gay one. Now, I've experienced a lot of trash ass rhetoric, especially coming from churches and coming from some male family members where just like, girl, you gotta watch them. You know, almost saying the same thing. I can remember my father saying, if I was God, I would strike all you guys down. And he was talking about his 3 kids. So it's just like, I'm just like, so some of y'all are having kids for the wrong reasons. Some of you all want dolls to dress up, some of y'all want clones, and that's not how that shit works. I'm not sure how to, like, you're a whole grown-ass human being and you think that you having a kid, that you think that this kid is going to be the exact replica of you. Some of you guys are having kids because y'all are so goddamn selfish. I would implore you to just make sure that you're having kids for the right reasons if you're over here actually thinking about the shit before you do, because I know a lot of parents don't. Regarding all these trash-ass, heterosexual, cisgendered-ass men, especially on Twitter, you know, tweeting out random pictures of gay men or feminine men or men that they think are gay and talk, and you know, they always love to use the caption, especially on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They always love to use the caption, oh, if this was your son, what would you do? And you would just go underneath it to just, I guess, fulfill your sadistic fantasies. I'm not sure, because it would just go, it would range from, girl, that ain't my son, to I'm gonna give his ass away, to oh, I'm gonna beat his ass or I'm gonna kill his ass. Just, you know, if you happen to scroll by one of those fucking posts, look underneath and look at the comments and see what the tea is, girl. I promise you, you'll find those types. So it's just like, yeah, you can blame my father, you can blame the father who did this to his kid, but we need to talk about the bigger picture. We need to talk about the fact that there is a structure in society that automatically demonizes feminine men. It automatically demonizes and makes monsters out of gay men, and even down to your own fucking blood. Being homosexual is so disgusting that you can't even handle it being in your own family. And this is just not in America, it's all over the motherfucking world. People are getting disowned. There's so many fucking homeless LGBT youth out here. It's ridiculous that, as I said before, simply who you're attracted to can lead your life down this horrible path because of the society that you're in, or it can simply just end your life. Y'all are grown-ass fucking men. Y'all are grown-ass adults. Y'all need to start focusing on the vagina that y'all claim to be caring about, as opposed to the gay men that are out here living their goddamn lives. If you claim that you're so heterosexual, girl, I want you to go ahead and prove it and focus on the beautiful women who are out here, sis. Don't be worried about what I'm doing with my dick. Don't be worried about these kids living in their truth. Don't be worried about that shit. Worried about you and yours, sis. And if you're thinking about becoming a parent, I want you to ask yourself these things. Can you handle your child being gay? Or can you handle your child being transgender? If not, sis, don't have kids. Don't fucking have kids. Because there's a high chance, especially you homophobic ones, I don't know how it happens, but you homophobic ones end up with all the LGBT members, the community members as kids. So I don't understand. So if you can't handle that shit, don't fucking have kids. You need to just continue jacking off and flushing that shit down the toilet and calling it a goddamn day. We don't need no more dead LGBT youth, okay? And if you're just standing around being fucking complacent and watching these kids go through hell and not speaking up for people who you have the power to, girl, you need to check yourself as well, girl. These are damn kids. You wanna read another unsurprising fucking headline? Okay, confirmed shooting at First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs in Texas. Police say there are multiple victims. Yeah, multiple victims. And the youngest one, I think, is 18 months of age, girl. 18 months. I think the oldest one was in their 70s. It was at a church. Apparently, the shooter was going through some domestic case, but I don't know what the hell was going on. Either way, all I know is that he took his motherfucking weapon into a fucking church, and now, like 29, I think it's 29, more than 24 people are over here dead. And honestly, at this point, I don't know what else to say that I haven't said already. I've told you guys, I've said over and over that, girl, or a developed country, we sure do have some trash ass idiotic problems that we shouldn't have with all this infrastructure and laws and shit. We are a whole ass developed country. We have a problem with gun violence in this country, and until people start addressing this issue as a fucking real issue, and until people stop benefiting from keeping trash ass laws in place so that they can get paid off by these fucking gun associations and the NRA, until all that shit stops, we're gonna continue to have this fucking problem. Money makes the world go around, especially in America. That's the only thing that a lot of people care about. That's the only thing, especially some of these high level politicians care about. So if it's putting money in their pocket, even if these laws are killing or contributing to the killing of these citizens out here, I mean, they'll still keep them in place. As long as they're getting paid, they don't really care, okay? And then the second problem I have with this is how Donald Trump responded to this shit, because if it had been another race of person doing this shit, if this person had a different religion that y'all could clock easily, as long as it wasn't Christianity, this conversation would be much different, as opposed to Donald Trump getting his shellfish shaped head ass on there under the sea built ass, no Ariel, no Ursula, and saying, well girl, this is a mental health issue and it needs to be taken care of. It is really interesting to see how quickly you guys jump to mental health issues when the person who did the action, when the aggressor, when the shooter, you know, has skin that looks like dried up Elmer's glue. It's really interesting to see y'all jump so quick to terrorism though when the person is of a different race. So I'm not understanding, will y'all teeth fall out if you actually call this thing what it is? Will your teeth fall out? Like, will your tongue rip in half if you say the words, girl, domestic terrorism? Like, girl, if it's a white person, will your eyes roll out of their sockets if you say, girl, we need to tighten civilians' access to guns, or, you know, to these types of guns, because it's only leading to death? I don't understand how you, as somebody in a position of power, a ruler over a country, let's just say that, can see your citizens killing themselves, like killing each other, and not do anything about it. Like, I don't understand. I can understand the debate about the types of laws that we should enact. I think the action needs to be taken. But those girls who are sitting down saying, well girl, if somebody really wants to kill somebody, preventing them from getting guns won't stop them. So I'm like, what's the other option? Tell me another option, I'll go for it, sis. Because what's the other option? Because the way that y'all are arguing, y'all are saying that we should just sit on our asses, keep the trash ass laws that we have in place. Because I feel like in some places, it's easier for y'all to fucking get a gun than it is get a driver's license and register the car in some place. So I'm just like, girl, what do you suggest? We just sit down on these fucking laws that are not working? Because we're one of the only developed countries with this fucking problem. So obviously it's not working. I'm sick and tired of waking up, you know, once a week, twice a week, and there's another fucking shooting happening, girl. Can we please address the goddamn issue? And no, I'm not talking about the mental health issue that y'all spun out of fucking nowhere. Y'all really do a disservice to people who are actually like struggling from mental health issues with this kind of push, with this rhetoric that a lot of the mainstream media and politicians, you know, by the way that they're talking, they're making it seem like everybody who's suffering from some type of mental health issue is gonna be out here, you know, popping caps and hoes and just shooting bitches up. It's unacceptable for it to be 2017. It's unacceptable for us to have these huge advances in technology and infrastructure, and our greed and our obsession with money keeps us from protecting our own fucking citizens. It's trash. I can't wait for his ass to be impeached, but I know that this issue is far from being solved. No matter if he's not here tomorrow or gone in 4 or 8 years, the issue is still gonna be prevalent, and I hate it. I hate that. And Trump, I just wanted to say that you're shaped completely like a sleeping bag. So it should be nothing for your ass to go ahead and take a nap until 2024, so I don't have to deal with seeing your pterodactyl in the face built ass on my screen, you know, for the next decade. Have a good goddamn evening.